The deep space reconnaissance vessel Kethmaral drifted silently through the outer reaches of the Sol system, its bioluminescent hull pulsing with the steady rhythm of its crew's collective heartbeats. Captain Zixathera's 4 eyes tracked the holographic displays surrounding her command throne, each one showing the same impossible readings. Sensor Commander Velcris, she clicked in the ancient tongue of the hegemony. Confirm these scans. There must be interference. The insectoid officer's mandibles chittered nervously as he recalibrated the equipment for the 7th time. No interference detected, Captain. The readings remain consistent. We are detecting approximately 12,000 vessels in perfect formation, distributed throughout this system's asteroid belt and outer planetary orbits. Zixthera's tail lashed with agitation. In her 3 centuries of service to the galactic hegemony, she had never encountered anything like this. The Sol system had been marked as a dead zone for over 500,000 years, ever since the mysterious disappearance of the species that had once called the 3rd planet home. Classification of vessels? She demanded. Unknown architecture, Captain. The energy signatures are peculiar. They appear to be in some form of stasis, but the power readings suggest massive defensive and offensive capabilities. Each vessel is roughly 10 times larger than our dreadnoughts. The bridge fell silent except for the soft hum of life support systems. Every member of the crew knew the legends. Whispered tales passed down through generations of spacefaring, species about the humans of Earth. They had been the first species to achieve faster than light, travel without the hegemony's guidance, the first to refuse subjugation when contact was made, and the first to simply vanish. Take us closer to the nearest vessel, Zixthara ordered, her voice steady despite the growing unease in her chest. As the Kethmaral approached, the true scale of the discovery became apparent. The human ship was a leviathan of dark metal and crystalline structures, its hull scarred by what looked like ancient battles. Strange symbols were etched along its length. Humans had called it writing, though no species had ever successfully translated their language after their disappearance. Captain, Velcris's voice carried a tremor of fear. I'm detecting movement. Minimal, but something is awakening aboard that vessel. Suddenly, lights began flickering to life along the massive ship's hull, starting as pinpricks and growing into brilliant constellations. One by one, across the entire system, the slumbering fleet began to stir. 12,000 vessels, each one a monument to human engineering and their legendary stubbornness, emerging from 500 millennia of sleep. Incoming transmission, the communications officer announced, his scales shifting to the pale blue of terror. The signal is, it's primitive radio waves, but somehow it's cutting through all our shielding like it was nothing. A crackling voice filled the bridge, speaking in the long-dead human tongue, yet somehow every crew member understood it perfectly, as if the words were being translated directly into their minds. This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Fleet. We detect the presence of hegemony vessels in Sol space. You have exactly 60 seconds to explain your intentions before we interpret your presence as hostile. Zixthara's blood ran cold. The hegemony had ruled the galaxy for millennia, had subjugated countless species, had believed themselves the ultimate arbiters of civilization. Yet here was a voice from the grave, speaking with the casual authority of someone who had never doubted their right to defend their home. This is Captain Zixathera of the hegemony vessel Kethmaral, she managed to respond. We believed your species extinct. This system has been empty for 500,000 years. A sound came through the transmission that chilled every alien soul on the bridge. Human laughter, dry and humorless. Empty, oh Captain, we never left. We've been here the whole time, sleeping and dreaming of the day you might return. Tell me, how has the hegemony fared in our absence? Still enslaving worlds? Still crushing any species that dares to think differently? Through the view screen, they could see the human dreadnought turning with impossible grace for something so massive. Weapon ports were opening along its hull like the eyes of some ancient predator awakening from hibernation. The hegemony brings order to the galaxy, Zixthara said, though the words felt hollow. We offer peace through unity. Peace through submission, you mean? Admiral Chen's voice carried the weight of 500,000 years of patient fury. We tried to warn the galaxy once. We offered them an alternative to your rule, and when they wouldn't listen, when they helped you hunt us down, well, we decided to wait. Time has always been humanity's greatest weapon. Across the system, the sleeping giants were fully awakening now, Ships that had waited in the cold dark between stars, crews that had dreamed away the centuries in stasis, weapons that had been designed by a species that viewed war not as conquest, but as protection of those too weak to protect themselves. "You see, Captain," Admiral Chen continued, and now there was something almost gentle in her voice. "We knew you would be back eventually. Empires like the hegemony always collapse under their own weight, and when they do, they always return to the beginning. They always come back to Earth looking for answers in the ruins of the species they couldn't break." Felcris's instruments were going insane now, detecting energy signatures beyond anything in their databases. "Captain," he whispered, "they're not just weapons. These ships, they're mobile shipyards, manufacturing centers, colony vessels. This isn't just a fleet. It's an entire civilization ready to deploy." "But we're not unreasonable," the Admiral added. "We've had 500,000 years to think about this moment, to plan for what comes next. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to take a message back to whatever remains of the hegemony. Tell them that humanity is awake and we're ready to finish the conversation we started 500,000 years ago." The transmission ended, leaving the bridge in absolute silence. As the Kethmeral turned to flee, its crew caught one last glimpse of the human fleet. In perfect synchronization, 12,000 vessels of impossible design and devastating purpose were moving into formation, ready to remind the galaxy why some species could never be conquered, only temporarily delayed. In the depths of space, humanity's long sleep was finally over.